Hey guys, welcome back. Welcome back to Mama's Con 2020. It's your girl, Monica Reed. So, I am on with you all for the next 20 minutes, and I am going to be talking to you about how to create a brand called you. So, for many of you who are just joining us, I am the visionary host behind Mama's Con, and this event is actually being presented by a company that I started called Love Mama Inspires, right? So or a brand that I started, sorry, called Love Mama Inspires. But I want to come on here with you all today to talk to you how and to show you how I came about the Love Mama Inspires. So I know that for many of you, if you have been following me, you're like, what is Love Mama Inspires? What is this thing that she has going on? How did all this come about? And how did it lead to Mama's Con, right? 2020. So again, I'm going to be talking to you of how to create a brand called you. I know earlier today we were sitting here, we were talking about a question that many of us, or maybe that was last night, that many of us have to always cross over. And that question is, who am I? Right? Well, I came to that question a few years ago. And I want to be able to come to you and share with you how all of this evolved just from that simple question. So again, if you are joining me, my name is Monica Reed. I'm an award-winning international 6-time best-selling author. And I have written or published 6 books. Yes, yes, yes. However, that is not it. I am a mom and I of 4, and I am a wife. And my husband and I have been together for the past 25 years, I believe, 25 years. And I've given a lot into the relationships of my family over the years. And so what a lot of people don't know is that about 5 years ago, I stumbled across that question. Well, who am I? Right? Because I've poured so much into everyone else. And I'm like, well, what are you here for? What are you here for? What is your dreams? What are your goals? And I had to ask myself before I even or tried to figure all that out. Well, who are you? You know, you have been everything and everyone to everyone else, right? So I had to actually do the work, you all. So what I did not know was in doing the work that I would be building brands and businesses out of it, right? I just wanted to know what I needed to do next. What is my next and what is my next chapter? Let me know if you've been in this place before. If you have ever asked yourself, well, who am I after all of this and all that I do? Who am I? Right? So let me just share with you all a story. I actually had my very first child right out of high school and got together with my now husband, but boyfriend at the time, and really jumped right into mommy mode and wifey mode, you all, and really just started to right out of high school. And when I say right out of high school, she was born in June, and by September, I was quote unquote wifed up. And so a lot of people don't realize that sometimes with our lives, we're just moving so fast that we are just jumping into our next and never taking a pause to add yourself to the equation. I think that was Tierra that talked about that a little bit earlier today, but we never add ourselves into the equation. Well, anyway, long story short, I went on to think that because I had already become a mom, that my life was just on pause and that I can just help everyone else be successful. And so I would babysit family members' kids just to make sure that they can go out and accomplish the goals that they have. I would, just be there for everyone else. Again, I was putting myself last, including my children. And while I don't regret any part of that, you all, it got to a point where I had to go back to figure out who I was, right? I was very happy that everyone else around me was accomplishing things. But to me, the biggest accomplishment that I knew that I could do was just be the best mom ever, right? So I over delivered in the mommy's world. Like I literally just poured into my kids and poured into my family. So I'm okay with that. And I was okay with it, but I still lost a part of me. And I was so desperate to figure out who I was. So I know that Sanji and I got on here a little earlier and they talked about the importance of investing in yourself. So about 4 years ago or 3 or 4 years ago, I actually traveled across country, you all, and I traveled across country to California, the very first time me ever going to California. And no one knew that I was going other than my family, but nobody ever knew why. They probably didn't even know why. But I landed at a speak and write conference where I had the opportunity to be in the room with my now personal development mentor, Miss Lisa Nichols. And I remember sitting in the room and her saying, "Stop asking for permission to be you." And I was like, "What? Like, what do you mean stop asking for permission?" But that right there, her permission gave me permission to stop asking for permission to be me. I know that sounds so silly, but at the same time, that's what I needed in that moment. And so going on, I happened to be blessed with the opportunity to work with her. And she did this assignment called, you know, creating a brand called you. And so I cannot take credit for this actual title, but at the same time, the work that we did to figure out who we are meant so much to me and led to so many other things. So I'm going to break that down for you all. We took a test. We did this personalities test. I don't know if you've ever heard of it. It was is an archetypes test, and you just go to their website. I'm going to make sure that I place the website in the comments section. Let me see if I can actually get there. But we took this personal development test, and it made us answer a series of questions. And out of the questions, it would tell you what your personality types or how it is that you show up in the world. It was a quiz. So let me see if I can put it over in the comments section. Yes, I actually put it over there in the comments section. But we took this quiz, you all. And when I took the quiz, it blew my mind. This quiz blew my mind, and I'm going to show you why. And I wish I had a slide right here, but I'm going to tell you exactly what came up. What came up for me were 3 different colors, and the colors that came up led or stood for some form of love, unity, and legacy. And I kept asking myself, like, what does this mean? Like, what do these 3 words mean? Like, love, unity, yeah, that's me. That's me. That's who I am. I'm overly loving, right? I'm always trying to bring people together. I'm always the one to defend for somebody and to stand up for somebody. And then what I'm creating with my family is a legacy. And so it took a lot for me to really, dig deeper into each one of those meanings. But the quiz allowed me to just to see me. And so I had to go back and really break down each one of those meanings. I'm like, you're overly loving. That's okay. It's okay to have that characteristic, right? Yeah, you have poured into other people. You've loved on everybody else, and it's okay. And then as far as unity, you're a family person. You want to see people come together. You want to create movements and all those other things. You want a sense of family and community, and that's okay too. And then on top of it, you stand for legacy. You want to make sure that everything you do leaves a mark in this world that can be remembered not only for you, but for your children and your family and the other people around you. And so I had to accept what the quiz was showing me. I had to accept what my characteristics. They weren't bad. I just needed a deeper understanding of really truly who I was, right? And then it explains why I showed up in the world the way that I do. So what I went on to do with that was I decided to start a brand called Love Mama Inspires. And I decided to get together and bring women together. There goes that unity piece, to bring them together to show women. And let me show you all how this broke down. To get together a group of women to share their stories, to show other women how everything we do in this world has a lasting imprint on our children, right? That family piece, right? And everything that we do as a mom, all the things that we say, all of our actions, and how we show up actually has some form of impact on our children, and our children are watching us, right? So again, I wanted to make sure that any brand, because I was new to the brand conversation too, but any brand that I was going to build or to start, it had to be a true representation of who I truly was. But I could not do that without figuring out who I truly was. Who am I? Or answering that question. So about a year ago, May 1st last year, again, we brought together those women, right? On a 3-part collaboration. I don't know if you can see it, a 3-part collaboration called Love Mama. And again, I wanted to lead this anthology to allow them to share their stories and how they impact their children's lives, or how their mothers impact their lives, right? And if you're not a mom, or women that were not a mom, you have to understand that regardless if you don't have the mom title, you're somebody's mother. So when you hear us talking about an other mother all weekend long, that's exactly what that means. You may not have children biologically, but you still have great impact on somebody's child out there. So again, that's how Love Mama Inspires was created and how it was birthed, because I had to stay true to who I was in order to build an authentic brand, right? So again, Mama's Con is just the event that Love Mama Inspires puts on. But at the same time, it's just to bring us women together for the same conversation, to be part of the conversation, and to be able to access the tools and the resources that we need, again, to help us in personal development and business development, and to leave a legacy for our children. So I'm really, really excited about that. And I wanted to share that with you all. Again, I took the test, or I took the quiz. And if you haven't had an opportunity, jump over into the comments, have some fun with it. But really, I wanted to give you all just a tool or resource to start to peel back who you truly are, and to make sure that you are being true to yourself when you're out here building brands and building businesses. Let's talk about that, right? So Love Mama Inspires didn't just start there, didn't just end there. Just recently, I wind up publishing and starting a stationery line called Love Mama. And it's a journal line which allows women to create moments, be intentional, you all, be intentional about creating moments, about capturing messages and cherishing memories with their children. As I mentioned to you before, I'm all about love. I'm all about unity, and I'm all about leaving a legacy. So what better legacy to leave but to start your own stationery brand or business, surrounded by or using the core values about who you are. So again, this is the Love Mama collection and journal collection. I know the lighting is kind of crazy right here, but that is the Love Mama. As you can see, I kept true to the colors in which I discovered in the test. So in the test, it showed pink, right? It showed pink or fuchsia. This is the anthology, you all, that we did last year. And then this is the new journal collection. I just made sure the colors kind of stayed the same. So a lot of people are like, where'd she come up with these colors? It was from the test. You all, it was from the test. Someone said, I have mine. Amen, girl, you go. Thank you, thank you, thank you. But again, this brand is a representation of who I truly am. And why is it so important to do that? It's important to do that because anything that you go out and you promote, or anything that you go out to market or to sell or just have a conversation about, make sure it aligns with who you are, because then you come off authentic. And I can tell you all, this is heart to me. I cried when all of these projects were birthed, when the business was birthed just recently. I cried because it's a true representation of who I am. So I know this weekend we're talking about a lot of who am I, and doing the work, creating legacies. All I say and all I ask is that you just be true to who you are. Be true to who you are. Um, really identify who you are. And again, build your brands based off of that. Don't try to be anyone else. For a long time, I just kept beating myself up like, you overly love people, you love hard on people. You always want to get together, you always want to bring the family together. They don't want that. I would tell myself, like, you always got to go above and beyond, and do things big, and then I thought about it. I was like, okay, just because they're not ready for me don't mean I'm not ready for me, right? So it's okay to be who you are. I had to tap back into that overachiever, even from high school. I graduated a year early. A lot of people don't know that. I graduated a year early, and um, it wasn't because of the I hope you all can of just being extra smart and all the extra stuff. It was because I worked hard. I worked hard to be in school during the day. I would go to a program for nursing in the middle of the day. And then I hope you all can hear me. Can you still hear me? Just somebody just comment and let me know that you can still hear me. And I'm going to just continue on. But I worked really hard during the day to go to school. And I went to nursing in the middle of the day um, to a it was like a certification, a nursing certification class. And then I came back from the nursing certification courses and classes, and I would do my 12th grade year. So I had 11th grade nursing school and then 12th grade. So I don't know, again, I would get caught up on the fact that, you've always been an overachiever. And a lot of people didn't appreciate that. But I had to be true to who I am. If you are an overachiever, be okay with that. Know that you're doing these things to help you keep pushing. So again, don't try to be anything else other than who you are. So again, I hope that you can relate to this and you can see how all of this has been birthed. I hope that you can go back to take the quizzes and to do the work to figure out who it is that you truly are, or the test or the quiz allows you to tap in at least a little bit to get you started. Right? Just continue to be who you are. I know for me, I'm going to continue to show up. I'm going to continue to show up, identifying myself as the woman who is full of love, right? This is love, you all. I'm going to continue to show up as the person who will always bring women together. This is unity. The green stood for unity. And I'm also going to continue to show up in the world as the woman who wants to encourage others and leave a legacy. And that's purple, you all. So I got all of that, my brand types, from taking a simple quiz and surrounding myself with a community who would accept me for who I am. Right? I can be extra loving. I can always try to bring people together, and I can always continue to press forward to do all the things that I want to do to leave a legacy for my family. And I can live the legacy now, and I can bring them along for the ride. So again, that's how Love Mama Inspires was birthed. And then that leads us here to Mama's Con, you all, because I wanted to make sure that we had an annual event where a bunch of moms can come in and just be who they are, figure out how to work on their personal development, figure out who they are, and then be given the tools and resources to build their legacies for their families. So again, my name is Monica Reed. I know for a lot of you all, that was the first time you ever heard how Love Mama Inspires was birthed. But I hope that you continue to join us all throughout the weekend. And I'm really excited to have you. Again, make sure that you are creating brands called you. Be you. Thank you all. Have a good day.